Someone from one Igbo state is saying I cannot marry this person from another Igbo state.
Yes.
Just like when someone saying if you see I don't be the same person and if you see snake, kill the snake. I don't know the kind of wickedness
That. But I think I actually took a cue
that
from
makes-
that. When I say snake and I'm the same person, I married them the same person.
So we go. I don't understand why people can think like that to say, oh, because I'm from, let's say someone is from Ekiti and the other one is from Ogun State and they are both Yoruba. They say, no, Ekiti State cannot marry Ogun State. Kino Day.
Or say for example, we are not Yoruba, but there is a usual stereotype that is attached to Ijebu men.
Yes.
Ijebu
To Ijebu.
and or Ondo men.
Why that is.
Yeah.
And then they say, no, don't marry from there and don't marry from there. So it's just like we by ourselves are becoming racist in our own tribe. So it's now tribal
Black
racism. Black on black racism.
If you believe that Jesus of Nazareth is your personal Lord and Savior,
Yeah.
and you make that confession and you give your life to Him, you have to also take cognizance of the fact that He was a Jewish person born 2,000 years ago, and ask yourself, if He was not from your tribe, would you have believed Him?
Yeah.
Imagine Jesus of English.
Mm-mm. Hello guys and welcome to the Spring Class Podcast. So what are we talking about today? Is it intra or inter-ethnic marriage?
I will explain, but I think I'll go more with intra-tribal.
Intra-tribal marriages.
Okay, I think I'll go more with intra-tribal marriages.
See your talk.
Marriages that happen within the same child.
Yeah, within the same tribe. So be it Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa.
Yes.
Discriminations, yeah?
Yeah, so we focus more on not the all the. People marry tribally. But now we're focusing on the discriminations that happen within tribe.
Yeah, within tribe, whereby someone from Imo State refuses to marry someone from Anambra.
Is that number put that dream?
Either way, they will come for you. Yeah, but either way,
Yes.
someone from one Igbo state is saying I cannot marry this person from another Igbo state.
Yes. They do
For
it more.
whatever reason.
They do it more than Ebonyi people.
It's true.
Yes.
You do it more to Ebonyi. I feel like there's a kind of stereotype that's been attached to
Ebonyi
people
people.
from Ebonyi state.
Yeah, so growing up, I remember somebody said that if you go to Ebonyi, you see a man backing yam
Jesus.
for farm.
Sorry guys, this is not true.
No, I've never seen. But I've never got. I've never got.
What's that?
All available data shows that I don't think it happened.
No, I think that it's this kind of situation whereby people exaggerate, or people not even exaggerate now. People say what they think is true, whereas those things are not true. Just like when someone saying if you see I don't be the same person and if you see snake, kill the snake. I don't know the kind of wickedness
That. But I think I actually took a cue
that
from
makes-
that. When I say snake and I'm the same person, I married them the same person.
so we go.
That's a very difficult one.
Yeah, but I feel like that's wickedness. Imagine equating a person with a snake. Thinking about
No,
it
they said
now.
the snake is better. They're not good.
So they're saying the snake is better than the human being.
Yeah.
That's wickedness. In fact, I feel like for any tribe at all, wherever you're coming from, as long as we're human being, we are believers, right? I don't understand how you would prefer to kill which one?
Anybody that came up with that proverb is evil.
The person is wicked.
That proverb
And to
is
think
something.
that people are running with that proverb
Yeah, they say
also shows how wicked the mind of a man is.
it shows the state of our heart.
Yeah, it shows the state of our heart. So
That's
but
like
then
salvation is by grace.
I'm telling you. But then going back into the conversation for today, right? I don't understand why people can think like that to say, oh, because I'm from, let's say someone is from Ekiti and the other one is from Ogun State and they are both Yoruba. They say, no, Ekiti State cannot marry Ogun State. Kinode.
Or say for example, we are not Yoruba, but there is a usual stereotype that is attached to Ijebu men.
Yes.
Ijebu
To Ijebu.
and or Ondo men.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
And then they say, no, don't marry from there and don't marry from there. So it's just like we by ourselves are becoming racist in our own tribe. So it's now tribal
Black
racism. Black on black racism. And it doesn't even make sense. Because if you begin to ask the reason, I am very intentional about purpose. When you begin to ask what is the purpose for this thing you're saying, you will realize that there is no proper reason that makes sense to why someone would say, don't marry someone from Enugu if you're from Anambra, or Enugu, don't marry someone from Imo State. It doesn't even make sense to me. It shows that to an extent we are not in touch with our reality. Do you get? Or we don't know the purpose for why we want to do what we are doing. Because why? Why would you want to?
So to give a small context, some of these states were created maybe in 1991. In fact, before Abia State and Imo State was the same state.
Yeah,
They were under the same state. So this wasn't a problem of history. It was a problem of artificial discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in a sense that many of these states were under the old Eastern states, even with some South states. They were under the old Eastern region, and they were together. After the Civil War, that states were created. So you can imagine somebody saying that somebody from Anambra saying they don't marry people from Imo states. And you are asked, when was Anambra created? That is kind of different. So it's not even a difference of maybe difference in dialect. Saying, oh, these people speak Igbo like this, I will speak Igbo like this. It's based on states that were just created the other day.
Yeah.
States that were just created the other day. And if you look at this state, for example, I know that I grew up in Igbo. Which is the boundary state. Is the town that it has the boundary with is Amoka. Sometimes people don't know the difference between where Amoka starts and where we started. They have similar cultures, they have similar beliefs, their language is similar. So they are very closely related. But imagine somebody like, coming from Amoka and saying, oh, we don't marry people from Imo State. When the boundary is not even
just cross and then see this.
It's not even that obvious. It's not even that significant. So yeah, I think people always look for reasons for us versus them.
And these reasons doesn't make sense. I know someone that the mom has actually told her not to marry out of their own, what's it called?
Village. Oh yeah, there are people like that.
Not to marry out of their own village because she herself did not go out. So she married from the same village. So in her head, it feels like we are brothers and sisters. So you too, don't marry outside of this village. See, let me tell you something. If you're someone going through that, I feel like it's high time you have a conversation, because yes, you need to have the conversation. There is this story in the Bible where someone was cursed. And God said something. He said, until you're ready to break the yoke from your neck, then you'll be able to move forward. There are some conversations that when you hear it, you know that it is you that will remove that yoke from your neck. If you don't remove it, they will keep telling you what and what not. Because if you look at the reason, just imagine, don't go out because I did not go out. And said I will look like my brothers and sisters. We help ourselves. Where is that coming from? As a Christian, how?
So yeah, it does happen where people say that they don't marry people from other villages. And sometimes I actually think somehow it affects the women a lot, because they are dating, they don't really have the choice of choosing. So it's always hanging over their head that when they meet people, first question is that, are you AA or AS? And the second question is, where are you from? Even the same states, they don't even marry, and you just end up raising people that are angry and bitter. This is actually very common now. I don't know the data, but it is very common. Is it for you to see a lady who, after talking to you in a while, and she will tell you that her marriage, that she was supposed to get married to somebody that it ended, and you ask, okay, what happened? They don't marry from somebody from that state. And they've been together for 2, 3 years, 4 years. They've been building life together. I'm not talking couples that are doing long distance relationship, like couples that are literally have been dating for 4 or 5 years, been living together. And when it's time for them to marry, the first question
They're
they will
living
ask,
together before marriage.
wait, man. They are living
Yeah, but that's
together.
not to encourage such things. We're not encouraging that.
Yeah, they are living together. And when it's time for the person to get married, they now say, oh, where is she from?
What do you think is the cost for one of these things?
I think it's the nature of human hearts. Sometimes people always look for reasons to exclude other people, or people always look for reasons to say we are different from these people, or we are better than these people, or these people are not.
Is I better my neighbor? I better pass my neighbor mentality.
I think it's not even a bit. So if it is,
Because it feels like we from this tribe are better than those from that tribe. That's pride.
for every aspect of their life, they are okay with these people. They can be friends with people from another state. They
Because
have
marriage requires commitment.
they have I'm talking about from some parents who say those kind of things. They have colleagues who are from different tribes. They are very good people. Their church they go to, probably the person that even led them to Christ, or their priest is from a different district, they are okay. But it is not okay when somebody from that state or that tribe wants to marry their daughter, or when their son wants to
And
marry.
I feel like, and then to add to what you were saying, see, unforgiveness it can steal from you if you've not learned how to forgive. Now, let me paint this scenario. A woman or a man maybe tries to have a relationship with someone from a tribe, right? And at the end of the day, the relationship did not work out well for whatever reasons that presented itself. And because of that hurt felt, because he hadn't forgiven the person and the whole situation, probably he had moved forward, or probably he has not. He decided in his mind that I will never go to this tribe again to marry,
Or this state,
or this
not even-
state,
or this village.
or this village. And then when he also gives birth, yeah, he's now married, he gives birth to a child. He now wants to instruct his children never to marry from that village or from that tribe because he's yet to heal. He's passing on his unforgiveness spirit to his children
And his trauma. So
and his trauma.
yeah.
So I feel like unforgiveness also plays a very huge role
Yeah.
for all of this kind of incidents happening. And then selfishness. Because why would you tell someone that because you did this, then they shouldn't do it? So to be like people are, or you don't want people want to be among yourself. You don't want to go out. So it's more like your blessing, your daughter or your son, who can be a blessing to another family. No, you should not go and be a blessing there. They should only come to you so that all of you together as sisters and brothers. So the truth is that people have to actually start questioning their reason for doing all of those things, or for even saying these things, or for even selling this kind of conversations to your friend. Someone who is watching, and then maybe you've been telling your friend, oh, don't marry from this village, or you've been telling your brother or your sister or your children. Ask yourself, what's the motive behind?
And also to add to, not just ask yourself. I think you also have to accept that it might just be okay.
I really change.
Yeah, for doing that to people, because in everybody's story you could be the person that is not part of us.
Yeah.
You understand? In somebody's story, you could be that person and you don't have to do anything about it. It causes a lot of, I don't know, for people that have experienced this level of betrayal and wickedness, it causes a lot of traumatic experience. You see people that things we are going great, and all of a sudden the parents say, oh, you don't marry from
Don't marry from this.
this thing. No, I mean, I don't even know how the thought process that goes into that kind of thing.
I will not lie that I have never had this kind of thoughts before, or I've never thought in this way. I have, right? This is me calling myself out in the past. However, I don't think in that way again. I don't think in that manner. Because even while if I'm asking myself, or when I go to start asking myself, why was I even thinking that way? There is no concrete reason. It's because I've been hearing it.
Yeah,
So I just held on.
So there is even a story of someone saying the reason why they are. So the lady suitors was coming for her. Suitors from different villages. This one now is not state with different villages. And one of the suitors one of the reasons why they excluded him was that because of other people that married from that village, that he didn't favor them. So that's the reason.
Can you imagine?
Yes, that's the reason why the guy, that.
Yeah, but what's your final say to this kind of conversations or these things happening? You know, for someone who is even struggling right now.
This 21st century, everybody is educated. I don't think education eradicates bigotry or tribalism in those because if you look at people that do some of this, they are well educated.
Yeah.
You know, they are quite well educated. At the end of the day, it has to revolve around the values we hold there. If, for example, as a Christian, if you believe that Jesus of Nazareth is your personal Lord and Savior,
Yeah.
and you make that confession and you give your life to Him, you have to also take cognizance of the fact that He was a Jewish person born 2,000 years ago, and ask yourself, if He was not from your tribe, would you have believed Him?
You summed it up. Whoosh.
You get?
Yeah.
Imagine Jesus of English.
Mm-mm.
I think it would have been easier for people to kill him because they would choose a serpent over him.
Yes, yes.
So those are the kind of questions you have to ask yourself. That if I believe that Jesus was in Nazareth, he was sent by God, and you believe and everything, you know, and you accept it, why would you reject another person?
Why would you reject?
That is not. This
No,
one is not even. The difference is not in
Reject.
dialect, not in language, it's not in history. It's just artificial creation.
Yeah.
Artificial creation. That this stage religion. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, and causing that level of pain to people, you know, to your own children, to other people's children. It's just.
It's evil. And you're someone who's struggling with that, please just go back again and ask
And if you have that mindset, change it.
Change it. If you're a Christian and you say you're a Christian with your church, you need to rethink all of these things. They are all in the conversation, right? You need to question your values and ask yourself, do I really have right values? And then in your belief system and that thing you've held so dear, who sets the standard for you? And you set the standard for yourself, and you're also the one struggling with the standard you have set for yourself. So yeah, let's be human. Let's love people, whether from any tribe, whether from your state, not from your state, from your ethnic group or not. Just be compassionate and kind and loving towards other people, and stop trying to make people hold on to your belief system as against their happiness or decision. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Yeah. So please like, share,
See
comment,
you next time.
ask questions. See you next time.